Animal chimeras in ancient Britain. Welcome to SkyWatchTV News for Wednesday, July 22nd of 2015. I'm Derek Gilbert. Archaeologists have found something weird in England, a dig site where they are uncovering hybridized or chimeric animal skeletons buried in pits, including a cow horse, a cow sheep, six-legged sheep, and others. One pit held the remains of a woman whose throat had been slit, buried on top of animal bones. Archaeologists working at the site say that these pits were used to store food for a year or two, but these chimeric animals were added to the pit when they were sealed with dirt. Now, why horse cows? Why six-legged sheep? Archaeologists don't know for sure. They do say that these hybrids were created from the remains of multiple animals, but if they were honoring gods, which gods? And why chimeric animal hybrids? The head of a horse on the body of a cow, the head of a cow on the body of a pig, and things like that. And for that matter, why was the woman sacrificed? And why was she buried face down with her pelvis aligned with the pelvic bones of the animals she was buried with? Again, archaeologists don't have an answer. They don't even have a name for the people who lived at this site, which was occupied from about 400 BC until just before the Romans invaded in AD 43. It does go to show that we know very little about human history, and certainly there are some dark periods of history that are very obscure. For example, DNA studies now released by researchers at Harvard University show that Australian Aborigines may have crossed the Pacific Ocean and settled in the Amazon rainforest. Now, this contradicts the official history that says that travelers from Asia crossed a land bridge from Russia into what is now Alaska thousands and thousands of years ago, traveled down the west coast of North America and settled in South America. This study, which is based on DNA research, was prompted by the discovery of a number of skulls, mainly in Brazil, that appear to be more African than anything. The official histories, we've been told, are wrong. Speaking of DNA, we are one step closer, apparently, to engineering our children and grandchildren. Scientists think they figured out how to make the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technique safer. Earlier this year, Chinese researchers announced that they had successfully edited the germline of a human embryo. These are changes that could be passed down from generation to generation. But the CRISPR-Cas9 technique, while it's effective, is also dangerous. It can introduce a lot of accidental, unintended mutations. Researchers at Harvard Medical believe they found a way to reduce the number of unintended mutations by about 40%. Again, bringing us one day closer to the day that we can design our children to spec, which is at least preferable to using the unborn as nothing more than raw material for biomedical research. Another video released yesterday by the Center for Medical Progress, apparently showing another top medical officer of National Planned Parenthood haggling over the prices of fetal body parts.
What would you expect for intact tissue? What sort of compensation? What sort of...
Well, why don't you start by telling me what you're used to paying?
In the clip, a woman identified as Dr. Mary Gatter offers to use a less crunchy technique in order to preserve more tissues for biomedical research, make sure the remains are more valuable. While haggling over the prices, she says if the price is too low, they can bump it up because she wants a Lamborghini. One more note on this story. After the protests that broke out in Ferguson, Missouri, the St. Louis suburb, last year, that decried Black Lives Matter, which they do, it just appears that according to statistics released by New York City, that Black Lives matter less there. See, in 2013, almost twice as many unborn black children were aborted as born. According to New York City, more than 63% of unborn African American children were aborted, terminated. This is not really a surprise, I suppose. The founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, was a eugenicist, believed in weeding out the weak, the dim-witted, but she was also a racist. And at $100 each, those 29,000 aborted children represent a potential $2.9 million windfall. Lamborghini. We talked earlier this week about the transhumanism movement and how it is essentially a religion Some of its proponents recognize this. In fact, some have actually founded a religion called the Terasem movement. They held a conference in virtual space earlier this week, the online three-dimensional virtual reality called Second Life. Very appropriate for a religion devoted to and based on science. Carl Teichrieb, the founder and chief editor of the excellent online journal Forcing Change, attended this virtual conference, and he tells us a little bit about this new scientific religion.
It considers itself a trans religion that seeks transcendence, that seeks immortality, incorporating ritual, incorporating prayer, meditation, yoga, and all of this fitting hand in glove with technology, with the idea of mind uploading, building a profile online, a profile where you will journal everything, where you will journal your thoughts, your feelings, you upload pictures of yourself, upload videos, with the idea that down the road, the technology will become so advanced that when you pass away, with this massive database of personal information, they will be able to upload your personal identity, your consciousness, not necessarily your consciousness per se, but the thoughts and feelings and emotions of who you were, and upload all that into an avatar in a virtual space.
The conference this week focused on the work of mystic Jesuit priest Father Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He's called by some the father of the New Age movement, called by others the father of the Internet. He's credited as being the first to use the term transhuman and also the first to coin the phrase social network. The sad thing is that the adherents, the faithful in this new scientific movement, fail to recognize that in many ways the Bible is full of cutting-edge scientific concepts, some that are so cutting-edge that they'd be considered science fiction by most people. Talked about that with Gary Stearman, the last couple of SkyWatch TV programs that aired on the Christian television network. As he recorded them, discussed in his book, Time Travelers of the Bible, how the ancient prophets shattered the time barrier. Gary made a really interesting statement in last night's broadcast that time is the operating system on which God wrote his plan for salvation. If you missed the conversation last night on the Christian television network, you can see it today and on demand on the SkyWatch TV Roku channel. If you have a Roku account, log on, search the channel store for SkyWatch TV, and give us an ad. If you want specific instructions with a link to the SkyWatch TV Roku channel, in the Roku channel store, that is, you can find it online at skywatchtv.com/Roku. The website is also where you'll find the SkyWatch magazine. Not only do we do video and audio via the SkyWatch TV podcast, but the written word, where we've got content this month from Josh Peck, another cutting-edge scientific thinker from a biblical perspective. Also, the three Dougs, Woodward, Overmeyer, and Krieger. Sharon Gilbert's beginning the first of a new series called Icon Engineering a New God, and also a continuation of her ongoing supernatural thriller, essentially serializing her novel Skinwalkers. Just look for the link in the top menu bar at skywatchtv.com. You'll also find a link there on how to donate to SkyWatch TV, and your support is very important to us, and we want to make sure we thank you for it. For your financial gift of $10 or more during the month of July, we're offering to you the book by Dr. Gary Smalley, I Promise, How 5 Commitments Determine the Destiny of Your Marriage. Very timely book right about now, and again, our gift to you for your financial gift of $10 or more to SkyWatch TV. Comments, questions, suggestions, send those to dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV.